Because if you've got a robotic sledge, you can basically set up a trickle feeder. And that's still ultimately what we're going to do. But, let's go ahead and make 50 of these. I'm going to want this to be the same shape. And advanced positioning. I need to watch for the point where this becomes unstable. That's about there. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Pull that up. I'm going to start upgrading from this point. Now, the way you look at this is if you look at a frame in your inventory, you'll get additional statistics. So horizontal support, 40. Mass, 5. That's what a frame has. Wood, I believe, is 10 mass. And horizontal support of 80. Cobble is horizontal support of... I forget how much, but I think it's like 12 blocks of cobble. It always has enough mass and... it always has enough structural support to be evenly divisible by its own mass. So a block of cobble, the mass of a block of cobble can be evenly divided into the structural support of a block of cobble. And I think it's like 12. If we have a look there, still able to place these down. 1, 2, 3. And now we can extend it further, because previously, where it was starting to look unstable, like here, that's because of the structural support of the frames. The way the support works is you have infinite structural support moving up vertically, and then it's only horizontally does the strength of anything start to matter. So all of this is being supported by that top cobble central pillar tile. And whilst if I only made it out of frames, it could only go to about here or so, that you might think, well, why does adding more mass allow it to expand out further? It's because at this point, this has still got the horizontal structural support of cobble. I mean, it's already now, there's quite a lot of mass involved in this, but this tile is weak, not because of the structural support of that cobble pillar, but because of the structural support of that frame. So it's generally a good idea to build everything out of the same material, just because it makes the calculation a lot easier. I think we'll take it out about this far. We'll see how that goes. Now, one of the things that you can also keep in mind with regards to structural support is that it goes in both directions. So if I have a pillar over there, that can support 12 tiles of cobble, and a pillar over here can support 12 tiles of cobble. If they meet, as long as they meet in the middle, and there's no 13th block between them from either side, then effectively you've got a 24 long tile walkway that is perfectly supported. Hey, Lateful. You're more than welcome, mate. I'm glad that info was helpful to you. But yeah, so you could have two pillars. If they were perfectly spaced apart, then you could have a one long 24 tile of cobble supported by them. You don't need a central pillar. It doesn't need to be a pillar every 12 tiles. It just needs to be a pillar. Each one is supporting 12 tiles of the entire mass. But understand that This is also mass hanging from it. It's not just out horizontally, but the moment it leaves the vertical support, every tile, no matter how it's placed, is now, and don't worry about them floating, is because the game still thinks in solid blocks, and even though these are half blocks, it thinks of them as solid blocks. You can grief the game and zombie AI doing stuff like that by having like completely unsupported towers if you really want to. I don't. I feel it's just a silly thing, kind of like the way the materials interact in Oni. It's not how it was intended. That's a little bit too cheesy for my liking. But the way that what I was doing there is I was just building the blocks downwards. They were still adding onto the horizontal support because it doesn't matter if it's directly out horizontally. It's just if that is supporting the weight from one of its horizontal faces. So you could have like one tile out from a block. Let me just switch back to regular blocks just to make this look a little bit better. So like this is now supported one tile out horizontally. This is now supported 2 tiles out. This is now supported 3 tiles out. It's now supporting 4 tiles out, 5 tiles out, 6 tiles out, 7 tiles out, 8 tiles out. Remember, based on the weight calculation, that this can only support 8 tiles. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sorry, no, that's the 8th tile there. So this would be the 9th, and the red is telling me if I place this down, it's going to completely collapse. I would show you, so you didn't have to just take my word on it, but I don't want to waste the wood. Okay. Now, if we're just going to make this a very simple zombie basher, probably want the stairs to start somewhere out here. Maybe even a little bit further on. I'd be able to support the weight. I think that's tall enough. Yes. This is going to be the stairs leading up. Now, the way I built stairs is to maximize the zombies' ease of climbing them. It's once they're up the top that I want to make things hard for them. I don't want to give them any real impediment to getting to me. I want their pathfinding to be like, this is the easiest thing for me to do. And it kind of comes back to what we were talking about Eve earlier. And there's sometimes the easiest way to get someone not to do a thing you don't want them to do is not to just plow your resources into making it impossible for them to do it. It's to give them an easier option. Steam probably did more for ending software piracy than all of the anti-piracy measures implemented across all games and software that came before it. Because Steam made it easy to just buy a game that you wanted. You didn't have to wait for the shops to be open. You didn't have to hope that your local game store stocked it. You could just go and buy it. That's kind of what we're doing with the zombies pathfinding here. I want them to see a very easy path to just come straight at me. That way, they're not going to try and destroy the stairs. They're not going to try and destroy the pillar. Ultimately, this entire build lives and dies based on there still being a valid path for all of the zombies to take to get to us. Because the moment there isn't a valid path for the zombies to take, their AI will switch to destruction mode. And it'll be like, okay, I can't get to them, so I'm just going to break everything I see. And at that point, they'll jump down into the pit, spikes on those spikes, and start railing on the pillar, which will then collapse all of the platform down, and then all of a sudden they can get to me. And more to the point, I am now probably badly wounded. I'm limping, got a broken leg, and the zombies are all there waiting to eat my face. So that's the entire idea behind this. I want to maximize their ability to reach me, not because I want them to get to me, it's because I don't want them to go for this. If they have to come up and approach me down basically along a corridor where I'm going to be shooting at them the whole time, that's far preferable to them being all gathered together in a massive mosh pit and then me falling down into their waiting, gnashing jaws. Same with home security concept. They make your neighbors an easier target. I misread that. I see what you're saying now. You having like an alarm box on the front of your house declaring, I'm alarmed. If your neighbor doesn't have that, they're more likely to be the one that gets robbed. But for a moment, Nico Bolas, I read that as, yes, it's the same as a home security concept. Make your neighbors easier to rob. And I was taking that as a much more proactive make them easier to rob, not that they didn't have an alarm system. Just like, no, I just took their door off. Yeah. My stuff is much more safe now. It's like, well, I mean, you're not wrong, but... I feel that maybe your neighbors would have something to say about this. Damn you, that is a valid strategy. Okay, chat. I hate to be the one to break it to you, but like, if you're being run down by a lion, you should stop worrying about the lion and make sure that Demi is nowhere near you with a machete aiming to take out your hamstrings. I'm sorry, but Demi has shown their true colors. As long as they're faster than you, then everything is okay. And if they're not faster than you, they can make you slower. Trip Demi first. Got it. I love how that was everyone's response. It wasn't avoid running next to Demi. It was, okay, survival of the fittest dictates that if you're going to try and take me out, I just need to take you out first. You're all as bad as each other. My lord. Chat is savage today. Now, as it stands, this is not a very potent Horde base, but as soon as I've done this, it will be a functional Horde base. This is now a Horde base. Again, not super robust, but it would work. Except the zombies would probably destroy this pretty quickly. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be making this a triple thick stairwell up the top. And at the back, I'm going to extend this out one more. Again, I need a couple more frames. And ladders going up there. So there'll be 2, maybe even 3 ladders going up there, 3 stairs. So realistically, even if they have the biggest of tantrums, they're not going to destroy their own way to get to me. Again, that's the main focus here. I must ensure that their way to get to me doesn't get destroyed. Now, obviously, you probably already picked up on the kind of elephant in the room. That is a very narrow walkway. If something were to break that, then they can no longer get to me. So, we would either need to make it thicker, which means we can make it half as long, because the structural integrity thing, or, you make it a more durable surface, or alternatively, you just kind of bank on them not destroying it. That's not the best solution, personally, but... Hello, Ripflex. Ripflex, sorry. What Demi fails to realise is that he is already faster than me, so I'd be the one going for his ankles. Wow, L has a red. Demi of Dip, you overestimated my speed. I think you're both just going to end up dying together. Locked. Arm in arm. I lack... I don't actually lack cobblestone. Nice. I do, however, lack wood. So let's get down there and grab some. Now, much of the day is gone, sadly, but the chunky bits of the Horde base are now in place. Now, you don't need to make it as expansive as I'm making mine. You really don't. You could make this far smaller and achieve the same effect. The main thing is that there is a corridor for the enemy to advance towards you along. If you have a robo sledge, which honestly quite often is offered as rewards for Jen's quests, I'm a little bit disappointed that at level 2 quest I haven't gotten a robotic sledge offered to me. If you set up a robotic sledge, you just maximize it, because it'll basically act as a trickle feeder then. Because the robotic sledge will be pushing people off the pathway, forcing them to have to go back around the whole system and get back up. And they'll take a little bit of damage when they fall, but the objective there isn't to hurt them. It's simply to knock them off. So, like, every other zombie will be getting knocked off, so the line of zombies you directly have to deal with yourself is constantly kept to a very manageable level. Is there a maximum pathing length for zombies? You can make a second, slightly longer path as a backup for if the primary path gets taken out. I believe there is. There almost certainly will be. I just don't know what that is. But having multiple paths is a really, really good method of doing it. And that's it kind of comes together in what I was talking about earlier, how this is not the end stage of this, which is why I'm not trying to build it perfectly. It's going to grow bigger over time. Now, one of the things that we'll do is we'll make it large enough that if Lady Sheilab is standing at one end of the kind of platform and I'm stood at the other, my zombies will spawn over here, her zombies will spawn over there, and they'll run together, or whatever orientation. So that'll halve the amount of zombies that are stressing either side. And if one side does go down, then the zombies will default to the other side. But you can also build additional walkways. If you were playing this solo, you could still make 2, 3, or 4 more paths up. But using doors, you would shut off which path the zombies would consider a viable path. And so, if one side goes down, you just open a different door, and now the zombies can path there. They're not going to try and dig their way to you. They're just going to try and run up that way instead. And so on and so forth. But that is a very good way of doing it, yeah. My problem with later Horde Nights is the amount of ammo I need to farm, not to run out. Do you actually gather your own materials for ammo? Because I find that you can spend one night in a mine at like level 2 or 3 miner 60 miner and a motherload, and you will have more coal, and then another night at a nitrite mine, and more nitrite than you will probably go through in 2 weeks of playing, much less a Horde night. You will not hurt for gunpowder. And then another night, you do the same, and now you've got enough lead to make the bullet tips for a long, long time. The only thing that will hurt is brass. Getting the bullet casings is genuinely a pain in the backside because of the requirement of brass. But with the right magazines, you'll be able to farm enough brass from even like a level 3 point of interest. A tier 3 point of interest, just from like the brass fixtures and doorknobs and lamps and stuff. Alternatively, if you're running quests, you'll have brass in large quantity because I'm not sure if it's widely understood, but the casino tokens that you use as a currency can be smelted into brass. And it's 1-to-1. You need 6 brass per bullet casing. Some bullets require more bullet casings. Don't ask me how. Like more gunpowder, I understand. More bullet casings, that's an interesting one for each bullet. But even just a little bit of questing will get you thousands upon thousands of casino tokens. But even just the smallest amount of time in a mine for coal or a mine for nitrate or a mine for lead will get you more of that resource that you can probably deal with. Derp says, I expect crenellations will be employed here. Yes, they will. I need some ladders. Ladder. Oh, I could make the ladder out of cobble if I really wanted to. But I don't. Give me 20 ladders because I'm going to use a lot in other places as well. There we go. Zombies can now easily get up here. Now, I just need to make the stair shapes. And I'll show you another thing that I tend to do with trying to maximize zombie access. Actually, it's going to require me to get some more cobble before then. I'll show you with the frame shapes at the very least. Let me just upgrade as much of this as I can. Hello, Fizbic. Ah, that's even worse. You scallywag. Fine. So, I'm going to have this 3 wide, but if you would imagine, what we will do at the sides is not just have the stairs going up, because what will happen is occasionally zombies will be trying to get onto the stairs, but we'll just clip it at the wrong angle. And we'll get very frustrated, and we'll then start attacking the stairs. So instead, we just do that. So that zombies that want to go up can just do it. Again, you actually want to make it easy for them. You don't want to make it hard. You want to make it a nice, comfortable experience. Now, what we do here is we switch over to half blocks. And furthermore, go. One there. One there. One there. One there. Do I need any more? No, probably that's good enough. I could put one there if I really wanted to. Alright. So, the reason I use half blocks is the zombie will come up here and will have to jump. Now, if you use a full block, they'll steady themselves on the block, And if you're only using a block and only leaving one block gap, sometimes they'll just run straight across it, and sometimes you can do that. They'll have enough momentum to carry them across the gap without slowing them down. The whole point of this is to slow them, is to cause them to trickle. So they'll reach this, they'll jump, they'll steady themselves, or with half blocks they might jump over it. But either way, when they land, if they do completely vault it, they'll steady themselves here. And then they'll move forward, they'll steady themselves, jump again. And they will do that at each point, slowing them down enormously, which in turn lets you get plenty of time to shoot them. The reason why I go for half blocks is that in between each of these blocks is not a single tile of space. It's a tile and a half, which prevents the zombies from being able to simply run across them. They can occasionally just sprint across a single tile gap. They cannot sprint across a 1.5 tile gap. So this creates a pretty solid trickle system. We might even get an opportunity to test it. They want to come over here, I'll show you. 1, 2. Down there. Or maybe even more around me. I don't really have a good weapon here, but I will try and plink her in the back. Oh, I was so close. Okay, you're moving closer. It's a bit harder to gauge, but... Oh, annoyingly close. Okay, you're moving across tangentially now. It's going to be shy. Yep. That one went wide just because it's a bad bow. He says, blaming his tools. Just need one of you to come over. I swear that must have, like, tickled your toes. Rude. Finally! Oh, and I killed him? Did I hit him in the head or something? Tickling her toes again. Ah! I don't know if you can easily make out how close these shots are or not, chat, but it's infuriating. Okay, she didn't die. There we go. Body shot. Now she's going to run over to me. She knows where I am, and if I'm moving around like this, hey, yeah, that's me. Do you want to come up? Yep, hi. She can't see me. She's dumb. She knew that the shot came from somewhere over here, but now she doesn't know. Hey, that's right, yep. You need to come up here. So. Tunk, stop. Jump, stabilize. Tunk. Jump, stabilize. Sometimes they're just going to fall off. They're going to trickle feed themselves. Now she's going to try and get up that side. See if she gets close. You can do it! Come on! You're almost there. Come on. That's right. Ah, so proud of you. So proud. Come on. Only a few more steps to go. Once more. And... Oh. Okay, that was a little bit anticlimactic. I'm gonna lie. And you smacked the wood. Damn it. But there we are. That's the way that system works. That one zombie took 2 runs, and that was perfect scenario. There was no one inhibiting their approach. No one was shooting at them until the very last part. And there was no one else trying to jostle for space, which they will be doing on Horde Night. So they're going to be falling off left and right constantly. Spikes at the bottom of the walkway would kill them. Okay, so you can build a Horde base to maximize for your protection, or you can build a Horde base to maximize for your development. And this is a Horde base that is maximized for development. A Horde base that is purely built to keep you safe would not be anywhere remotely designed like this. This is a Horde base built so that I can kill the zombies myself rather than traps doing it. Because if a trap kills them, I don't get experience points for it. If a fall kills them, I don't get experience points for it. If I kill them, if they die to bleeding or they die to being set on fire by me, I'll get experience points. If they run over a fire pit, which is probably what we'll do here, we'll have a door, and then right outside we will have, or maybe like some blocks or something that we'll just build at the time, or a trapdoor that we open upwards. I'll show you how. So, if all of this was walls and we had bars and stuff, and this was there, but it was a high-tier trapdoor, you can lift that up, and that it's now an impediment. They have to brash this through in order to get in. But outside, on this tile, could be a fire pit lit on fire. For them to get to me, they have to stand in the fire pit that is going to catch them on fire. But I don't want them to die to that. That's a oh no, I'm about to get attacked and swarmed kind of defense. If that kills them when they were this close already, that's fine. I don't mind. But I don't want them just falling off and dying on spikes, because then I don't get any points for it. CK Hawk, the only reason why they'll go into the pit below is if this has failed. They won't naturally path down there. If for some reason this has already failed, then they will absolutely go for that. But they were going to go for that anyway. Murder holes is an okay strategy, but not on this particular thing. Someone actually asked that earlier, using iron bars to allow for that. Using holes, it just increases the chance that someone's going to fall through it. I guess I could have used some sort of cross of cobble that could be walked on but shot through. I didn't think of that, if I'm perfectly honest. But this design is going to be rejigged anyway. This is just for the first one, maybe 2 Horde Nights. But following that, we're going to have to expand this out. And we might have built a different Horde base somewhere else. Maybe for like Horde Night 3. If this holds Horde Night 1 convincingly, then it'll be like, you know what? Horde Night 2 is going to be, it's already in the bag. We don't need to worry about Horde Night 2. So, She-Lab, who has, does enjoy building bases, isn't the most, she does worry a little bit about her, whether they're going to work. She has a bit of anxiety over that. Bless her. So you need to be very supportive, chat. But she does enjoy building them, just, you know, feels very responsible if they fail. But if this holds Horde Night 1 well enough, then I can just say, hey, you know, we've got 2 weeks to Horde Night 3. You can design the Horde Night 3 Horde base, and we'll have 2 weeks to fortify it and design it and plan it out. That would probably make her quite happy, actually. Well done, Blue Believers. You had faith, and your faith was rewarded. In the best possible way. You didn't just get ducats, you got someone else's ducats, and those are better. My pink believers, was it? Okay. The positive pinks. Demi, really? Do you need... Demi is so bad. So bad. You're such a scallywag. It's like, haha! I'm gonna take the understood norm, the traditional colours, and I'm gonna reverse them. You know, I'll let you off. It's one of your small joys in life. This is normal 7 days, yeah. Vanilla. But with that, I'm afraid, for all those who've just joined me, we're actually wrapping things up. Because tomorrow is Horde night, and Lady Sheilab, who spent the entire stream with me, even though initially it was like, oh, maybe I'll hop in for like an hour or two, depending on how my throat is feeling, actually managed to get through almost solid 6 hours before she had to head off to bed. So I think it's only fair that we wait for her for Horde night as well. So I'm not going to do any more work. We're going to wrap the stream up right about here. And in we go. And on the next time we stream, and not necessarily on the morrow, or rather the next time we stream this, I guess I should say, we'll be doing Horde night straight away. And hopefully, if by then Lady Sheilab feels even better than she did today, we might even go from one Horde night to the next Horde night, and you'll get 2 Horde nights in one stream. Thanks for the content and the game lessons. You're more than welcome, CK Hawk. More than welcome. Is it a scheduled day when you will stream 7 days? No. Largely because I don't like having those sorts of plans, because then if something goes awry, I feel bad. And my life is just a tumultuous maelstrom. I don't know whether I'm coming or going, and most days seem to blend into one another. So, I don't know. But if there was going to be something like that, it might be like Survival Saturday or something. Oh, or something else corny like that. But I don't do the whole planning thing generally. I feel the plans are just a good way of disappointing yourself. Anyway, I will, however, post notifications at the usual spots, relatively close to when I'm going live. So YouTube, both of my channels, Aavak After Hours, the archive channel, or my main channel, Aavak. Also on Twitter, if you're following me there, or probably the most reliable place to get notifications is on the Dapper Dell Discord. So if you want to come and join us in the Dapper Dell, you're more than welcome to. And I generally post notifications with significantly more advanced warning over there. Sometimes I even ask, like I did today, what game people would like to see me play. Today, it was a choice between Project Zomboid and this, and the Dapperlings voted for some 7 days, so here we are. Anyway, that is going to be it from me. If you've got a little bit more Twitch watching left in you, then hang tight and I will find someone to raid. But if that is it for you, or indeed if you're watching this over on the aforementioned archive channel, Aavak After Hours, then I hope you have enjoyed the last couple of episodes. This will probably be somewhere in the realm of, I don't know, 6, 7. And I am looking forward to your feedback in the comments. But that is going to be it from me for now.